In the Al-Hamdi Mansion library, the reading of Farouk's will had just begun. Crystal goblets quivered on the silk-draped table. Mr. Sterling unfolded the final page and declared Karim Al-Hamdi the sole heir to $400 million.
Thank you, Sterling. As always, my father's final wishes are clear.
At the back of the room, a waitress named Patricia Moreno stopped mid-reach for a champagne flute. Her gaze locked onto the signature, a smooth, flawless flourish. No tremor, no hesitation.
Farouk's hands were destroyed by illness. This signature, it can't be real.
You seem unsettled, miss. Is there a problem with the service?
It's fake, a signature. It's forged.
How dare you? Sterling, have this servant removed immediately.
The damage was done. A waitress had seen what everyone missed. And now Karim Al-Hamdi knew she had to be silenced. 6 months earlier, Patricia Moreno worked mornings at Café du Roi, a quiet vintage coffee house in London. A frail old man became her favorite regular, Farouk Al-Hamdi, the billionaire whose body was failing, but whose eyes still held fire.
Patricia, you always take such care with my mint tea. Sit with me a moment.
You look tired today, Mr. Al-Hamdi. More than usual. Should I call your driver?
Number. I need to speak. My son Karim, he only sees dollar signs. And my daughter Layla, I disowned her. The biggest mistake of my life. I have changed my will. Everything goes to Layla. But I know Karim will contest it. He will try to forge something. You are the only one I trust, Patricia. Please keep this envelope. If I die unexpectedly, give it to Mr. Sterling.
Why me? He barely knows me. But maybe that's the point. No strings attached, just a good person. I will guard it, Mr. Al-Hamdi. You have my word.
She tucked the envelope into her apron pocket, her heart pounding. A billionaire had just made her the keeper of his secret. Days later, Farouk returned to Café du Roi with his lawyer, Mr. Sterling. A leather document case sat between them. Patricia served espresso and mint tea, then stepped back as Sterling unfolded the new will.
My hand is not what it used to be. Forgive the shakiness, Sterling. Each stroke is a battle.
He can barely hold the pen. Every line trembles like a frightened thing.
The fountain pen scratched across the page. Farouk's signature took shape, unsteady, human, unmistakably his.
That signature is a map of his pain. No forger could fake that kind of suffering.
He slid a second, smaller envelope across the table toward Patricia.
Give this to Sterling, but only if my will is ever challenged.
I understand. It stays safe with me.
That night, she hid both envelopes beneath the floorboard, two secrets pressed together in the dark. Patricia sat on the cold floor, staring at the loose board. Farouk's trust weighed heavier than the envelopes themselves.
This signature, it pulled something up from deep inside me, something I buried years ago.
10 years earlier, in a cramped workshop in Barcelona. She was just a teenager with quick hands and no way out.
Practice the curve, the pressure, the pause. Make it perfect, or they'll hurt you again.
Arrested at 17. Forgery, fraud. She spent 18 months in a Spanish youth prison. A number, not a name.
They told me I'd never be anything but a criminal. And for years, I believed them.
After release, she fled to London under a new name, determined to leave that life in ashes.
But now, an old man's shaky handwriting has called me back to the one thing I swore I'd never do. Judge a signature. This time, I am not the girl who forged to survive. I am the woman who will expose a forgery to honor a dead man's wish.
She pressed the floorboard back into place, sealing her past beneath her feet. Whatever came next, she would not run. Weeks later, Patricia woke to her phone buzzing insistently. A news alert flashed. Billionaire Farouk Al-Hamdi dead at 68.
Your hands, your smile, gone, but you left a fire with me. I will keep my promise.
She almost dialed Sterling, then stopped. Farouk's instructions had been clear. Only act if the will was challenged. 2 days later, another headline dropped. Karim Al-Hamdi named sole heir of $400 million empire. Will reading set for Saturday.
Karim gets everything without a whisper of protest. That's exactly what Farouk feared.
She pried up the floorboard and lifted the smaller envelope, not opening it, just holding it against her heart. That night, she took a catering shift at the Al-Hamdi mansion. Her waitress uniform became her disguise.
All I need is one look at that signature. One look, and I'll know if my instinct is right.
Inside the mansion, the chandelier light felt cold. She kept her head down, moving toward the library. She found a spot near the service door, just as Sterling began to read. The silent waitress, already watching, before she could say another word. A security guard seized Patricia by the elbow. Kareem's face was ice.
Please, just look at the signature. Compare it to anything he signed before.
Miss, I must ask you to leave. We will not have disruptions in this house.
Sterling hesitated, his eyes flicking toward the will. But Kareem's glare pinned him.
Remove her now, and make sure she never enters this estate again.
The guard dragged Patricia through the side door. Her protest echoed and died in the marble hallway.
They're going to steal everything, and I can't stop it. Not here, not like this.
She stumbled out a service entrance into the cool night air, gasping. Then her mind cleared, the envelope.
Farouk knew this would happen. The real will is hidden under my floor.
She pushed off the wall and walked into the night. No one would believe her yet, but she had proof. She fumbled for her apartment key. The silence inside pressed against her chest. She knelt, pulled the loose floorboard aside. The envelopes still lay in their dark hiding place.
These hands once forged signatures for criminals. Now they hold a dead man's truth.
She opened the larger envelope. The true will unfolded, its shaky signature unmistakable. A handwritten note rested on top. Patricia's breath caught. Patricia, if you are reading this, my son has betrayed me. Please make sure this reaches my Layla.
He knew this day would come. He trusted me with his legacy.
She pressed the note to her chest, a promise heavy as stone.
But if I come forward, they'll dig into my past. A former forger accusing a billionaire's heir. They'll lock me away again.
She stared at the shaky signature. Proof, but also a key to her own cell. The next morning, Patricia walked into Sterling's office corner, envelope clutched like a shield.
Miss Moreno, this is highly irregular. What is it?
Farouk gave me his true will. It names Layla as his rightful heir.
She laid the document on the mahogany desk. The shaky signature seemed to pulse under the lamplight.
This signature, it's completely unsteady. The one at the reading was perfectly smooth.
Because that one was forged. His illness made his hand tremble. He couldn't sign a straight line.
Sterling brought out the will from the reading and placed them side by side. The truth jumped at him.
Good God, I remember now. Farouk's hand shook violently. This is his real signature.
Please, keep my name out of this. Kareem will find a way to destroy me.
I cannot hide you, Miss Moreno. Justice needs a witness. I will call Kareem now.
The office door swung open before Sterling could dial. Kareem strode in, flanked by his solicitor, eyes already hunting Patricia.
So the coffee girl has a fantasy. Disappointed you weren't invited to the reading, or just hoping for a payoff?
I saw your father sign the real will. His hand shook so badly the pen nearly fell. That smooth signature is a lie.
Kareem's smirk vanished. He stepped close enough that she could smell the bitter coffee on his breath.
I know about Barcelona, Patricia. Walk away now, or I will bury you so deep they'll need a cadaver dog.
Barcelona. How does he know? That secret was buried under a different name.
She stumbled back, breath shallow. The air in the room had turned to ice.
Sterling, this woman is delusional. Throw her out before I sue for slander.
You can threaten me, but you can't make the truth disappear. Layla will get what's hers.
She walked out with her head high. The war was no longer hidden. It was declared. Patricia walked away from Sterling's office, the city street blurring through tears that refused to fall. Near the Al-Hamdi mansion gate, a guard shoved a young woman backward. She stumbled, clutching the iron bars.
I just want to see my brother. Please, I am his sister.
Patricia recognized the desperate hope in the woman's face, the same hope Farouk had worn.
You are Layla. Your father told me everything. He never stopped loving you.
Who are you? How do you know my father?
She deserves the truth. If I don't speak now, Kareem wins and Farouk's last wish dies. He wrote a new will. It names you as the sole heir. I have it with me.
Layla's trembling fingers traced the shaky signature. Tears dripped onto the parchment, smudging the ink.
This is his hand. I'd know it anywhere. We have to go to the police now.
At the central station, Patricia laid the true will on Detective Harris's desk. The fluorescent light made the paper look fragile. The detective placed the forged will beside it. One signature steady as a printed line, the other trembling. The detective asked, "How can you be sure this isn't a fake itself?"
I saw him sign it. His hand tremors were unmistakable. No forger could replicate them.
I grew up watching him write. This is his hand. The other one is too perfect.
Harris remained unconvinced, without an expert opinion. It was merely a waitress and a disowned daughter making accusations. Sterling entered, leather briefcase in hand. He placed a phone call to Kareem's solicitor. He suggested a forensic handwriting expert. Let science decide, he insisted to the detective. Kareem's solicitor protested over the phone, but yielded. A public scandal was worse than a quiet examination. The wills were sealed in evidence bags. An expert was summoned. The truth now rested in the bend of an ink stroke. The expert projected both signatures onto the screen, enlarging each stroke until the tremor was undeniable. The forged signature is too smooth. An ill man's hand cannot produce such unnatural steadiness. Patricia seized a pen. A forger braces the wrist. I can mimic steadiness, but the break reveals the truth.
The hook on the F lifts too soon. His illness broke the line. The fake hook is flawless.
The expert nodded, tracing the discrepancy with a laser. The forged F lacks that involuntary lift. Kareem's collar seemed to tighten. His eyes darted around the room, finding no ally.
This proves nothing. She's a liar. She could have made the shaky one after the fact.
But the room had already shifted. Sterling slowly set down his pen. The expert concluded. The will from the reading is a forgery. The true will, with its authentic tremor, must be validated. Patricia exhaled. The war was far from over, but for the first time, the truth had a voice. Detective Harris reached for his radio, ready to summon an arrest team for Kareem.
Wait. You want to know who truly understands forgery? This woman, Patricia Moreno, is a convicted criminal.
The words exploded in the silent room. Every face turned toward the waitress who had been so certain.
Not now. The cold metal, the flashing lights. Barcelona.
Detective Harris faced Patricia, his expression hardening. Is this true, Miss Moreno?
Yes. I was arrested for forgery when I was 17. I served my time.
A convicted forger. Maybe she switched the will herself. Who better to fake a signature?
Sterling's jaw tightened. Layla looked at Patricia, a desperate question in her eyes.
I am not that girl anymore. I am telling the truth.
The detective's hand hovered over his cuffs, but no one moved. The truth had just lost its cleanest witness. Patricia was placed alone in a holding room. The cold metal chair and bare walls mirrored her past. In Sterling's office, Layla refused to leave. Her voice cut through the heavy silence.
She gave everything to expose this. You can't let her past bury the truth.
I know, Layla. Farouk trusted her more than anyone. I will not abandon that trust.
Sterling opened his briefcase and withdrew the second envelope. Farouk's backup instruction. To Sterling, Patricia Moreno is my chosen witness. Trust her as you would trust me. She holds my true will. Sterling rushed to the station, laying the note before Detective Harris. This is Farouk's own hand.
Farouk knew his son would forge a will. He chose Patricia precisely because she could spot the fraud.
The detective studied the note, his skepticism wavering. A dead man's testimony carried weight. Still, the cuffs remained on the table. Patricia was not free. But Farouk's voice had finally joined hers. Alone in the cold room, Patricia stared at her own hands. They were no longer a forger's hands.
If I hide, they will twist it. The only way to save the truth is to stand in my own wreckage.
She asked the guard for Detective Harris, and for Sterling, and Layla.
I want to make a formal statement. Everything from Barcelona to this room.
She laid out her teenage years, arrest at 17, the forged signatures, the 18 months in a cell.
I was a frightened kid in Barcelona, forced to copy signatures to survive. But I paid my debt. When I got out, I changed my name and swore I'd never even write a grocery list that wasn't mine. Then I met Farouk. He trusted me without knowing my past. Or maybe he did, I don't know. I could not let Karim steal Layla's inheritance. I was a forger once, but I am telling the truth now.
Silence fell. Her past lay open on the table, as raw as the shaky signature she had defended. Karim's solicitor fed the press a file. Patricia's juvenile record, the mugshot, the forged signatures. Headlines screamed, "Waitress is a convicted forger."
Let her try to testify. No jury will ever believe a convicted forger.
But Sterling was ready. He called a press conference, Layla at his side.
My father trusted her. She gave up her safety for his truth. She is not the criminal here. My brother is.
Sterling held up Farouk's signed note and the expert's report. The press leaned in. By morning, the story had flipped. Ex-forger gives up freedom for justice replaced the smear. A probate judge, seeing the mounting evidence, fast-tracked a hearing. Patricia would be the star witness.
I will testify, even if it sends me back to a cell. Farouk didn't gamble, neither will I.
The hearing date was set. Patricia's past and the Al-Hamdi legacy were now bound together. She looked at the shaky signature one last time. It was the only character witness she needed. The probate court fell silent as Patricia Moreno walked to the witness box. Every camera in London was on her.
I knew the signature was fake the moment I saw it. The tremor was missing, the tremor of a dying man's hand. The hook on the F lifts too soon. His illness broke the line. A forger would never allow that imperfection.
Karim's solicitor rose. "You forged signatures at 17. Are you not a criminal, Miss Moreno?"
I was convicted. I paid my debt. Today I am here to tell the truth. That is all.
She did not flinch. The expert then confirmed the forgery point by point. Sterling called a final witness. Farouk's old nurse. The nurse recalled. His hand shook too much. He never signed anything that smooth. The courtroom stirred. Karim's defense crumbled like dry paper. Patricia sat back. She had spoken. Now the truth was in the hands of the judge. The judge adjusted his glasses and looked directly at Karim. The room held its breath. This court finds the will presented by Karim Al-Hamdi to be a deliberate forgery. The true will, naming Layla Al-Hamdi as sole heir, is validated. Police moved toward Karim. He stumbled back, but the cuffs clicked shut. The judge turned to Patricia. "Your past does not erase your courage. This court will not pursue charges." The courtroom erupted. Layla ran forward, throwing her arms around Patricia.
You did it! You saved my father's last wish.
Patricia held her, tears streaming freely, but her eyes were empty of fear for the first time in years.
Farouk, I kept my promise. I hope you can see this.
Outside, the sun broke through the clouds, but one more truth was still waiting in a sealed envelope. A few days later, a registered envelope arrived at Café du Y. Patricia's name was written in Farouk's shaky hand. She slipped into the back room, fingers trembling as she tore the seal.
His handwriting, still speaking from the grave.
"Dear Patricia, by now you know the truth. I hired you at my cafe after learning of your past. I wanted to see if a person could truly change. You have proven that all of us can find redemption. Thank you for delivering justice to my Layla."
He knew. All this time, he knew about Barcelona, and he still trusted me.
The paper blurred. A decade of shame dissolved into silent tears.
I wasn't just a waitress, I was his second chance, and he was mine.
She folded the letter and tucked it into her apron, next to her heart. A week later, Layla summoned Patricia to the Al-Hamdi mansion, now officially her home.
Patricia, the foundation is mine now. I want you to have this.
She slid a check across the mahogany desk. £1 million.
£1 million. Enough to buy anything, except a clean conscience. I can't accept this, Layla. I didn't do it for money. I did it because it was right.
Then let me create a scholarship in your name, for people leaving crime like you once did.
A scholarship for kids like me. That could mean something real. I'd be honored. Call it the Fresh Start Fund.
They embraced. For a moment, the mansion felt less like a fortress and more like a home. As Patricia walked through the garden, the wind stirred the roses, and she could almost hear Farouk whisper his approval. On a quiet Sunday, Patricia walked through the cemetery, a single white rose trembling in her hand. She knelt on the damp grass and placed the rose against the cold marble of Farouk's headstone.
I delivered, Farouk. Your Layla has her home, and your son will answer for his greed.
The wind stirred the grass, and she felt a warmth she couldn't explain, as if someone smiled down.
Maybe your grandmother's ghost, or maybe yours. Either way, I am not alone.
She stayed a moment, head bowed, letting the silence speak the words she couldn't form. Then she stood, brushed the grass from her knees, and turned toward the iron cemetery gate. Through the bars, the familiar street stretched toward Café du Roi, its awning glowing in the distance.
Time to open the cafe. Time to pour coffee and earn an honest day.
She walked out, the gate clinking shut behind her. For the first time, she carried no secrets. The early morning streets were empty, the cafe awning damp with dew. She unlocked the door and pushed it open. The familiar scent of coffee beans greeted her. She reached for the sign and flipped it. Open, just like every morning, but not the same woman. Her apron waited on its hook. She tied it slowly, smoothing the creases. She started the espresso machine. Steam rose like a quiet prayer. As she poured the first stream of black coffee, her sleeve slipped back. The tiny F glinted.
Farouk's faith, and my fresh start.
She picked up a cloth and wiped the front window, watching the street wake up.
Not invisible anymore, just here, whole.
Then she turned, tray in hand, and the first customer of the morning walked in. The day began.